you allowed all the participants?
A new dawn, a new horizon of healthcare delivery and patient safety. We have a goal, a noble drive.
Hand in hand, step by step, we will thrive.
To march ahead together for a bright and shiny future with patient safety and quality healthcare. We are CAHO, your healthcare companion. Standing right by your side. Joining hands for building a vision, shaping a culture for patient safety.
Setting up standards with best foot forward. Won't ever leave no stone unturned.
We wear our pride on our sleeves, walk with passion like a breeze, training people, enhancing their skills, spreading the message of quality healthcare for safer patient care, a better nation.
We have a goal,
We have a goal,
a noble drive.
noble drive. Hand in hand, step by step, we will thrive. To march ahead together for a bright and shiny future with patient safety and quality healthcare. We are CAHO, your healthcare companion, standing right by your side.
Good evening, friends. Thank you very much for joining the international webinar series of CAHO and the International Society for Quality in Healthcare. It's my proud privilege as the Secretary General of the Consortium of Accredited Healthcare Organizations to welcome all of you to the 49th International Webinar Series. So far, we have trained more than 30,000 people through this international webinar series from 27 countries. And we are privileged today to have Dr. Arti with us, who's going to be talking on a very important subject that's very close to most hospitals in India and moderated by Dr. Gigi Selvan. To talk a little bit about CAHO, the Consortium of Accredited Healthcare Organizations in India, is a not-for-profit society established to promote quality, patient safety, and accreditation in the country. We have about 147 members in the governing committee of CAHO, and our emails today go to about 53,000 individuals. So that's the growth of CAHO from 2013 to now. We are 11 years old, and we are truly committed to quality and patient safety with several forums addressing different issues. And our commitment to quality and patient safety is the passion that's driving this organization. So we thank all the hospitals, our centers for quality promotion that have joined us from the boardrooms and their auditoriums today, apart from the individuals who have joined us. And today it's my privilege to welcome Dr. Gigi Selvan as the moderator for this important session. So we are going to be talking about transforming newborn care, the genesis and journey of family-centered newborn care India model. The moderator is Dr. Gigi Selvan. She is the director and head of obstetrics and gynecology at the Annai Velangani Multi-Speciality Hospital in Tirunelveli. Dr. Gigi is a dedicated and highly skilled senior consultant obstetrics and gynecologist with a wealth of experience in the diagnosis and treatment of diverse women's health issues, particularly those pertaining to the female reproductive system. She is renowned for surgical proficiency, clinical expertise, and a holistic approach to women care. And she's a very active member of CAHO. Their hospital is a center for quality promotion of CAHO and extremely dedicated to the cause. She's dedicated to mother and child care, especially high-risk mother, and and has clinical expertise, surgical proficiency, and she has a very holistic approach to managing patients. And she did her MBBS from the Madurai Kamaraj University, Masters in Medical Ultrasound from Europe, MD Obstetrics and Gynecology from the University of Bangalore, Karnataka, India. She's a great friend, an excellent teacher, and we really look forward to a wonderfully moderated session from Dr. Gigi Selvan. I hand over the session to Dr. Gigi and Dr. Arti for deliberating and bringing out the essence of what we are going to be talking about today. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Lallu. Thank you for the nice introduction. So good evening, all of you. And we are now in the 49th webinar of CAHO. And we have a very eminent speaker today, that is Dr. Arti Maria, who's the Dean and also the head of neonatology, and who has launched DM Neonatology of ABVIMS and Dr. RML Hospital on South Delhi. Welcome, Dr. Arti Maria, for this CAHO webinar session. And to talk about her, there is a long list what she has achieved to improve the health of the newborn. So she has created a national model center for family-centered care and a nurturing care package. And also she has worked on the infant and child development research lab in collaboration with the Ashoka University, focusing mainly on the neurocognitive function of the infant. And the innovation and pioneering work on FCC adopted by the National Health Program 2017 and developed this nurturing care package accepted for adoption by the WHO. She has represented globally on the core expert Global Newborn Advisory Committee, AAP 2023, Advisory ISQua 2018 to 2023. And she wrote the Indian case study, FCC and Nurturing Care for the 71st WHO. She's one of the global change makers in the Health WHO documentary 2022 and also presented at the Oxford Evidence Line, USAID and ICHC. So with all this information behind her personality, she is with us today to talk to us about transforming the newborn care, the genesis, the journey of the family-centered newborn care India model. As an obstetrician, I would say preterm labor has not decreased at all, but the amount of newborn babies surviving after the preterm, like if they are 700 grams, 800 grams, they still survive. And I could say all the credit goes to the neonatologist who do this nurturing care of the newborn. So Dr. Arti Maria, the credit goes to your specialty and not to us, as we have tried to reduce the preterm. But you with 600 grams and 700 grams, you send a live baby with the parent. So thank you for that. And with this introduction, I'll hand over the mic to you to enlighten us today on this topic. Thank you. I think you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gigi and Dr. Lalu and the dear participants. I want to wish at the outset a very happy new year to you all. And I'm really grateful for this great opportunity to interact with all of you. I come from Delhi and India, and this is going to be a talk regarding and it was a very overkind introduction, I must say. Thank you very much. And it's a great opportunity to be at this forum. So I shall, without delay, start my presentation. Would you please allow me to share?
Sure, you can carry on.
And my voice is clear, I hope.
Ah, it's clear.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So, achha. Yeah, so I shall start about my genesis and journey of the idea of family-centered newborn care, the India model, which has actually transformed newborn care across globally also. So my presentation would be about how the concept got generated, the evidence generation and evolution. It is right from scratch. It was like an incidental discovery of this idea, and then the implementation and challenges that we came across, and how we went ahead with way forward and country scale. And I shall then conclude. I take you to the story. It's like a story. I take you to the year 2007, when I had joined this hospital where there was I'm a neonatologist caring after neonatal babies, newborn babies who are small or sick. So I was looking after a 16-bedded referral neonatal unit where babies are referred small and sick from anywhere outside our unit, and they come in a very moribund state. The setting was that there was severe human resource constraints. The nurses and doctors were few. State of the newborn care was like this, that there was incessant, loud and constant alarms. The babies were lying wet and soiled. There were very often misplaced tubes. IV swellings were there invariably on the morning rounds. So it was a very disheartening and a disappointing situation where I always felt what to do, because the human HR was less, quality was dismal, and how do we combat this problem? Then I used to see that amidst all this, there was a common scene outside the neonatal unit where the parent attendants were lined out, waiting outside anxiously with unmet demands of information, guidance, and support. And they wanted just a glimpse of their baby and to know about their baby inside. Because this was a prohibited area, conventionally, care has been very provider centric, and therefore we do not allow for the fear, we did not allow the parents very free entry because of the fear of infections. Then thought occurred to my mind, since we are so HR constrained, can we start engaging the waiting parent attendants as nursing aides for their own baby to improve quality? And here we did start experimenting. We started calling them one by one and training them one to one, counseling them, training them about safety, safe entry practices, infection prevention, how to take care about essential monitoring, like they can point out when the number goes above a certain range, about the cleaning of the devices and equipment which was used for their own baby, about the bedding to be clean, cleaning a soiled baby, and doing tasks which they were educated, but most importantly about entry into the nursery. And what did we see? We saw the fringe benefits beyond what we expected. Parents were happier because they were by the side of the baby, not separated anymore. Babies actually visibly got better quality of care, and the nurses, they had a work sharing, so they were happier too. That made me think, what is the conventional model of care for a sick newborn? And I realized, giving a thought, it just revisited that normally any profession, any specialty you see, care is provider, that is nurse and doctor centric. That provider assumes a role of power, control, and authority. He's the dominant person. The receiver of care, the client, the family in this case, or the baby, they assume a very small role. So it's not family centered. Why do you think this gap is there, or this inequity is there? Because there is competence gap. The providers are obviously equipped with a lot of competencies and the family is not. So they are sort of feel intimidated, they feel lack of knowledge and skills. So let us see what are the challenges at the doctor and nurse provider level. While they assume the power centered role, they have a constant challenge of human resource deficiencies, always, usually, and the outcome is compromised quality of care. What happens at the family end, at the receiver end? They simply have a role of passive receiver in silo, in isolation, and that also the challenge of separation from their small and sick baby. The outcome is unmet needs of information, guidance, and support, leading to anxiety and mounting stress. So, is it a happy situation? Not really at all. And that made me think, does there need to be a paradigm shift? And how do we balance that? How do we actually correct this misequity, or I should say, this imbalance? By actually, the core problem is the competence gap. Therefore, if we start building the competencies of the family side, the receiver side, and who has to do it? The provider. If we can build a therapeutic alliance, that is a partnership of care, where we build the competencies of the family for care of their own baby, and this work sharing from power control, it becomes an equation of work sharing, a partnership. And then what is the net outcome? Quality improvement will be visible, as we saw after that brief experiment. There will be improved health outcomes. Families assume caregiving competencies, and they are likely to be the cornerstone for continuum of care, because this baby will go home. And who's going to look after? Obviously, the family, the parents. So therefore, it's we build their competencies while they are in the hospital. Otherwise, we used to see very often the baby was 800 gram, 1000 gram, 1200 gram being discharged. And the first time you hand over the baby to the mother, and she was scared. She didn't even know how to hold a baby. So, and what would this baby be at risk at home when their mothers and parents take them home? And it is well known fact that these high risk babies who are discharged, 10 to 20% of them will die after going home because of this lack of continuum of care. Another advantage of this family centered care would be development of positive and trustful relationships, as you will see soon. So so this is the concept genesis. Now coming to evidence generation. We tried to do a randomized controlled trial in our unit, and we had a group where the conventional care was provided and the other where the mother was an additional aid or partner along with the conventional care where nurse and doctors were providing care. And obviously, the uttermost important outcome of interest was whether infection would increase, because that was the biggest concern. And what did we see? We saw there was no increase in infection anymore in the other than in the other group. And there was decreased hospital stay duration, and breastfeeding rates improved. Now, how do we train? So there was a win-win situation. Definitely nothing to do harm. So we actually went ahead in face of poor quality of care and severe child constraints. We made it into a standard of care at our unit. And for this, we had to train parents and families, continually, thanklessly, and this required standardization of their training. Therefore, we developed audio-visual training tools structured very thoughtfully into 4 sequenced modules. And this was in Hindi, locally developed indigenously in our local language, culturally adapted and culturally sensitive, and very simple, absolutely simple. And the first module consisted of the stringence about the entry protocol, ensuring duly that there is no increased risk, because this is the most important part. The mothers had to understand how important it is to, be sure the baby is not exposed to more infection. And let me tell you, we later did a quality improvement project on this, improving hand washing among parents. And we actually saw that by actually increased compliance of the parents, the hand washing rates in the healthcare providers also improved. So it's a very great idea. The second module actually is about supporting the baby's development. So this is developmentally supportive care. And maybe I'll show you later, and how the mothers would interact and they acquire competencies, confidence, empowerment, skills, and how the babies also land up getting much better care. And otherwise, the medical care is so overbearing that actually the developmental needs of the baby and the psychosocial needs of the family get overlooked and missed somewhere. And now you can see how they are actually getting involved. And the second module also consisted of about breastfeeding, about physical interaction, which is so important for early childhood development, about assisted feeding like this, and handling a baby generally. The third module is about kangaroo mother care, where even parents like fathers and grandfathers, all of them were involved. And it actually brought out a fantastic family participation rather than, you can see how the mothers are getting relieved of their stress and anxiety. The fourth module is about preparation for discharge and care at home so that a linkage of continuum of care is formed for better care of the baby at home. And here we teach about danger signs, about vaccination, growth, thermal care, kangaroo mother care, continuing at home, and early childhood development interactions. So, how did we institutionalize? Having developed this audiovisual tool, then we wanted to see how the implementation has to happen. So, we made a structured institutionalization of this process. For example, at admission, the primary care provider, we identify among the parents by their willingness who would like to be the primary care provider along with the nurses, identify them, and we give a sensitization session so that they are aware of what is it going to be like. And then we schedule daily trainings. With the help of this TV, you can see the audiovisual modules being used, and this is being coached by the nurse or some doctor, somebody or the other. But I'll tell you how interesting later on it so happened. And then we also do demonstrations and practice, and the learning methods are all based on adult teaching methods or the adult pedagogy. And then there is a stage of supervised learning. So the nurse supervises what the mother has learned and actually models and sees that nothing was wrong. And in any case, okay, then peer-to-peer, this is a fantastic thing. You know, what happens is that one mother who's been previously there, see, this mother apparently she's been there previously, and she is coaching the new mother. So it's really leading to community empowerment. And this mother is feeling more confident, and today she feels worthwhile. Otherwise, maybe she was not given her due esteem in the family. And this is because this is a particularly good way of learning and teaching, because these mothers relate very well to each other, and that's working well. And the mother gets into a state of independent doing. And that is where the discharge process we get to, and we prepare them with counseling and for finding a continuum of linkage at home. Okay. I'll just show you this video, 2-minute video to demonstrate this. Are you able to hear it?
In family-centered care, we impart essential caregiving skills to mothers.
Am I audible? This video is audible.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Lulu? Okay, great.
And parent
It's
attendants
audible, Arti.
for care of their sick newborn.
Just
In family-centered care, we impart essential caregiving skills to mothers and parent attendants for care of their sick newborn throughout the hospitalization of their sick baby. Today, the family attendant has assumed an integral role in the nursery along with the nurse care providers. His or her existence has indeed become a way of life in our newborn unit. These enhanced caregiving competencies among mothers promise better continuity of care of these vulnerable babies at home after discharge. Family-centered care addresses unmet psychosocial needs of the family, decreases their stress and anxiety, and meets the developmental needs of a sick baby. Through this collaborative partnership between the healthcare provider and the family, family-centered care surely will bridge the gap between the hospital-based newborn care and the home-based newborn care for improving the overall newborn health outcomes of our country.
Okay, so that was it. And now I shall just take you through this WHO quality of care framework for maternal and newborns, mothers and newborns. And in this earlier on, I was incidentally, I was part of this, when they were framing the standards of this maternal newborn in 2020, I was invited as one of the experts. And until hitherto, the provision of care was the most important part. But now they have included equally important is the experience of care. And actually, quality is determined by the experience of care if you look at the perspective of the receiver of care. So it's not any longer just provider-centric, has to be a patient-centered care. And this family-centered care, what we started, is actually a model of patient-centered care. And I think that's the way forward for successful healthcare systems in our country or anywhere globally. And therefore, this experience of care we have to improve. And do you agree with me that now the experience of mother and family through this family-centered care, through this partnership actually improved? And besides this, you can see there were many other benefits. Satisfied doctors, nurses, impact on early childhood development, shorter duration of stay, continuum of care at home after discharge, the breast milk outputs improved, kangaroo mother care hours increased, there was less stress for parents, and there was overall a developmentally supportive and a very, very healthy parent and provider relationship. So, family-centered care is appealing, seemingly so simple, low cost, could also possibly help overcome the HR constraint and seems to have benefits for all stakeholders involved. Is it that simple? But is it feasible? That was the next step for me. And that's what we did. And what do you think? I would love to hear from the audience what they think. That seems very simple, just like hand washing, just like breastfeeding. So let's understand and believe that the simplest of the things are the most effective ones. And the simplest of the things, the more effective they are, the more simple they are, the most difficult to implement they are. Why? Because I'll tell you. So, okay, let's understand. Then we went into the journey of implementing family-centered care. And I understood that for implementation, we need a certain bit of infrastructure, certain bit of practices. Infrastructure means we have to provide mother-friendly facilities. Mother should be given a respectable status, and she should be given facilities for sleeping, fooding, and bathing, and all that, and congenial environment. And also the practices. The mothers must be visibly seen in the nursery, providing care to their babies after being capacitated and empowered. And the third is attitudes, means our visible change in communications ways with the families, the healthcare providers and the families. They need to have a partnership now. It's no longer a power control situation. It has to be we have to come down to a level of humility and good communication, open communication, transparent communication, and counseling. So what did we realize? there were challenges. It was not easy to implement. I'm just abbreviating this part because of shortage of time, but it was a huge journey. It took me almost about 10 years for it to become a culture, a system, and today it is. So mothers, I realized after long and short of it, the mothers' buy-in was the easiest. Initially, I was thinking that was a challenge, that they are illiterate, they are maybe not easy to understand, and they're not so intelligent. But I think that was the easiest thing because they've had the vested interest. The challenge was surprisingly from the providers, from us. Why? Because I understood and analyzed accepting parent attendant as a co-partner in care. Why would I let my authority go? Why would I let it diminish? Then there is a watchdog effect. I feel that mother is constantly there. She's watching my activities. If I want to sit down also, not wash hands and enter into the nursery, obviously she's there and she knows, she's aware of the standards that she must receive, and therefore she expects it from me, and therefore the bar of the standard of care actually improves. Therefore I'm uncomfortable. Now there was another tendency, that there is a tendency to task shift. I'll just give you an example. Once I went to a newborn unit in a district, I was mentoring there, and I saw that the nurse was sitting and knitting a sweater, and the mother was feeding a small 1,000-gram baby, tube feeding. I asked why the mother is doing this. The nurse said, because you only promoted family-centered care. But that's where the flip side is. The flip side is that while we need to define what mother will do, we also need to define what mothers will not do, because we want it to be safe, and ultimate responsibility and medical legal, everything is it still remains with the healthcare provider. So mother is only a sort of an aid. It's not it's a transformative participation. It's an active participation, but ultimate responsibility has to remain with the healthcare provider. So it should not be considered that there is a task shifting. It should be task sharing, with responsibility resting with the healthcare provider. So the biggest challenge was getting healthcare provider on board. Therefore, we need a module for do's and don'ts of the healthcare provider. And what works is identification of a champions, because that's how it gets implemented, and it has to be driven. There is a need of initial and periodic sensitization of all provider teams, right from the guard, from the sweeper, from the safai wala to everybody. And there needs to be a constant supervision. Needless to say, responsibility rests with the healthcare provider. Now that we developed subsequently indicators to monitor. So we had to develop measures of implementation, then measures of feasibility and acceptability. We did qualitative studies, and we developed measures of quality of care. And we found that yes, it is feasible, it is greatly acceptable. And there was even a male participation was wonderful. It was so great that even grandparents were, 1/5 of them were grandparents, and age and literacy were not a bar. All of them wanted to. So is it not leading to community empowerment? Resource materials for national, and then tools and performers and indicators. And then the time was for translation to public health. So we also did a pilot testing in 4 states in 5 districts with the help of Norway India Partnership Initiative funding. And then having done that, we found it was a great, welcome idea, and people loved it. And then it actually transformed care, and Government of India accepted it as a national health program, and in 2017. And so we had generated evidence, we developed implementation framework, we developed resource materials, monitoring tools, and we realized that there was a felt need, definitely. So there was a time for scale up now. And therefore, after this piloting, we were acknowledged as a national resource center and district level 5 model centers. And then this 5 model centers, we realized that the adherence with the community component was much better. And also, I'll now take you briefly through this. There were qualitative and quantitative assessment of family participatory. Now, the government had called it family participatory care. Or originally I called it family-centered care, but it's one and the same thing. And in 38 facilities, an assessment, informal kind of operational research was done. 69 facilities, the trainings were conducted, and we wanted to see the status of implementation. This is few years after the national program was launched. And we also wanted to look at bottlenecks and challenges. And what we found was a win-win-win situation. Quality of care improved, breastfeeding practices, KMC practices improved. And you can see there was either no change or there was improvement. And follow-up discharge, after follow-up, the follow-ups actually improved. There was also visible health system strengthening. There was improvement in follow-up and KMC at home. And summary of findings is that almost all mothers felt the family participatory should be a universal practice. All units were functional for family-centered care, and half of the doctors and nurses were trained in family participatory care. Enabling logistics were present, sessions were continued, and breastfeeding practices improved. Government of India intensification plan also included that there should be a high priority districts there was a need of intensification and of certain practices, including family participatory care. So to conclude, family-centered care is a humane way to care, creates an opportunity for lifelong bonding between the baby and the family. Otherwise, the small sick baby in silo, in nursery, dealing with the sickness and separation and developmental needs not addressed, there is a lost opportunity of lifelong bonding. It is a family's right to a respectful care. There is a need to protect, support, and promote. This is an approach to improve care at all small and sick special newborn care units at district levels. This is operationally feasible, acceptable in Indian healthcare setting. It's a winning strategy for improving the kangaroo mother care and empowering families. It is best integrated with the existing facility-based newborn care program, and that's actually now being done. We are not pushing it as a separate program in silo, as a vertical. It is being integrated into the existing facility-based newborn care program. And this actually, the biggest message is that bringing healthcare provider on board is the most important. Having said this, I want to just say the key message is that family-centered newborn care holds the key for developing social accountability of health that may help us achieve sustainable development goals. So community empowerment is the way to go. For example, what I mean is that if there
Dr. Arti, you're not audible. Dr. Arti? Dr. Arti, you're not audible.
He lost the connectivity. Must have been the last slide, I think. Do you want to take up the...
No, it's not last slide. I just want you to, this time I want to just take you to the nurturing care component which Dr. Gigi said. And now we are working on am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so then we have now the second bit of our work
Your
recently has
slides are
been
not
on.
visible.
Okay, sorry. Okay, now can you see my slide now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Mm.
Am I
You have to reshare, ma'am.
reshare? Okay. So is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so I will take you now. We have talked about experience of care is equal to paradigm of quality. And now how we improve the experience of the family and patients, that was through the family-centered care. Let's talk of this third stakeholder, the baby, the family, and the provider. Experience of care for the small and sick newborn. And how does it happen? WHO has given this framework where they have given 5 components for nurturing care. This is good health, adequate nutrition, responsive caregiving, security and safety, and opportunities for early learning. However, let us see how family centered care is a gateway to nurturing care for small and sick newborn. I want to just tell you that I would like to actually show you one video and you will then understand what I am now talking about. One second. How do I share? Yeah, I want to share this. I would like you to see this video. Are you able to see the video? Is this visible? Is this video, you're not audible, you're unmuted, muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is this visible?
We are able to see all your small clippings, but the module is not visible. I mean, it's
No,
not
is
running.
this video visible? Is this video visible?
No.
No. How do I?
Ma'am, the
I'll
same way you
stop
have
share.
to, yeah, stop share, then open your
Stop
video,
share.
then same way you have to share the video also.
I have to share, okay? So, share, then this. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible.
And is it audible also? I'll just put it on. Kindly see. Is it?
The sound, it's not moving, Dr.
Is it?
Arti. But there's no sound to it.
It has no
Ma'am,
sound.
ma'am, the same way share sound you have to select during the share.
Okay. 1 minute. So I shall. So I'll stop share. And I will share sound. And I will. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Arti.
And I'll start. Kindly let me know if the voice is audible.
Yes, it is now.
Namaskar. The care of small and sick newborns has come a long way from a primary focus on mere survival to a broader goal of ensuring they thrive and reach their full developmental potential. This transformative shift requires a high quality care which is shaped by the experiences of both the baby and her family in the neonatal care unit. At the heart of this evolution is the transition from the conventional provider-centered care to family-centered care. Family participatory care represents a respectful partnership between healthcare providers and families in care of their newborns in the neonatal care unit. Family participatory care also serves as the gateway to nurturing care. WHO defines nurturing care across 5 key components. Nurturing care creates an environment in the unit that replicates the protective and stimulating conditions of the womb, addressing the emotional and developmental needs essential for the optimal brain development of the small and sick newborns. Central to this framework is the principle of zero separation, which ensures that mothers and newborns remain together from birth, enabling immediate kangaroo mother care unless the baby is critically ill. Mother newborn care units, that is MNCUs, further reinforce this principle by allowing mothers or surrogates to stay with their babies, providing continuous KMC alongside medical care in a shared space. This integrated approach ensures constant caregiver presence, supporting development and emotional bonding. To facilitate
this paradigm shift, we have developed a training package titled Nurturing Beyond the Womb for Small and Sick Newborns, which actually adapts the WHO's nurturing care concept for neonatal care units. This comprehensive package includes 8 short videos with supporting PowerPoint modules and a detailed resource manual offering clear and actionable guidance for implementing nurturing care in day-to-day neonatal care practice. Thus, by improving the experience of care for both the babies and their families, which is a cornerstone for quality of care, this approach ensures that the most vulnerable small and sick newborns will not only survive but also thrive. This training package is designed to empower healthcare teams to provide the best possible start in life for every small and sick newborn. Let us begin, therefore, by understanding what nurturing care is and why it is so important.
The mother's womb offers the safest environment for a developing fetus until full-term birth. During the last trimester and early months after birth, the baby's brain develops rapidly. This period is very sensitive to experiences. Positive experiences such as being in constant touch with her mother in the soothing environment of womb, floating and sleeping in amniotic fluid play a vital role in promoting normal brain development. However, when a baby is born preterm, small or sick, she must complete this important remaining part of her brain development in the neonatal care unit. During this sensitive period, every single interaction and experience to the preterm matters, as hundreds of interconnections are being formed in the brain every second. Being in the neonatal unit separated from her mother, preterm is exposed to sickness, pain and disturbed sleep in a noisy, bright and unfriendly environment. These negative experiences affect the structure and function of the developing brain such that long-term learning, behavioral or cognitive problems are common among babies born preterm. The good news is that we can protect the preterm brain from the damaging effects of negative experiences and harsh environment. The developing brain has a unique property of neuroplasticity, that is, ability to reorganize and adapt in response to negative sensory inputs and allowing it potential for recovery. Hence, we caregivers at all times must try to create a soothing and secure environment mimicking the nurturing environment of womb. Since parents best understand their baby and can fulfill her emotional and developmental needs, their active involvement in care, that is, family participatory care, is the best positive experience for any small or sick baby. Whether it is a diaper change, physical touch, hearing mother's voice, or experiencing her smell, every such positive interaction of the baby with her mother and the way she responds is constantly shaping the way her brain is developing. Thus, being constantly mindful of making every interaction with these small and sick newborns a soothing one, in partnership with parents, we can certainly positively shape the brain development of preterm babies. Parents giving birth to a premature baby often suffer from guilt, fear, anxiety, depression, or stress. The compromised state of mother's mental health during pregnancy and after birth also alters the structure of developing brain and contributes to adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes for these babies. Therefore, ensuring physical and emotional comfort of mothers is an integral part of caring for small and sick newborns. WHO and partners have developed a nurturing care framework to support 5 interrelated components of good health: adequate nutrition, responsive caregiving, safety and security, and opportunities for early learning. Aligned with the Nurturing Care framework, we have created a series of 8 videos for healthcare workers. These videos aim to teach us how we can make the environment and neonatal care as soothing, gentle, and humane that is close to the natural experience of being in the womb. Promoting nurturing care in the neonatal care unit. Responsive caregiving by understanding infant cues. Providing a safe and secure environment, including safeguarding sleep and clustering of care. Optimizing nutrition. Proper positioning and handling. Pain management and skin protection. Providing sensory stimulation to promote opportunities for early learning. Integrating various components of nurturing care in neonatal care unit.
I can stop here now because I think we have finished. And the final key message is family-centered care and nurturing care of small and sick newborns are a quality paradigm and a gateway for making our newborns thrive with improved health outcomes. Thank you very much. And this movie was made Global Change Makers in Health, a WHO documentary film. I would urge you can see this, and our family-centered care is actually listed as one of the best practices across the globe. I'll stop sharing here.
Thank you, Dr. Arti, for
Yeah,
taking us and opening your eyes how family-centered care is very important as far as, especially for the brain development of the newborn, the preterm NICUs. So are there any questions? The chat box, like Prakash, can you look into it? And
I think someone has asked for the link for the videos, madam.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. But, we are in the process of finalizing these videos finally because WHO showed interest as well. This project was supported by country office of WHO. So I'm grateful to them. But lot of hard work over the last 15 years, I think, 15, 20, 15 years or
yeah,
so.
video can run for 1 minute, 2 minutes, but amount of work we do behind it is amazing.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
thought
And the
and work
mindset change is required. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Gigi ma'am, there is a question from Dr. Sheikh. Do you want to take that? It is in the Q&A box. Shall I
Like,
read
what
it?
about the human milk which has been donated? Is that the question? Can be processed and given?
From,
Yeah, I
like,
read the question.
mhm.
So can I respond, madam, if you,
Yes,
chairperson?
Arti.
Yeah, so it is, they have asked that it's a nice concept, participating family in the baby care. It is one of the healthcare quality component, but tell me this model is suitable for private or making hospitals. Yes, it is a humane, see, we are talking, bringing in financial and commercials into it. I do not know. But when it comes to a baby and mother, it's a right for them. And we must not betray this right simply for any other reason. So I think this, and I have seen this practice after cesarean, babies are kept in the nursery for no reason. They should not be. There should be zero separation. And the baby and mother should be roomed in immediately after cesarean is no reason to separate them. And because mother may not be able to immediately go. And then there are flimsy reasons why babies are started on top feeds. Why? Why not mother's milk right away? So these are basic questions, and they're the beginning stepping stones for babies who are healthy. Now think of babies who are sick and small. Their mothers live in isolation in a separate room for days together. They don't get to see their baby. What is the mental state like? What is the mental state and what is the quality baby is getting? And mother's milk, nobody pays attention. And actually, the mother's milk is not available when the baby's actually needed, if the baby was initially small and sick. So therefore, it's our duty, and all this is 100% possible in private setup as well. We have done this practical thing also in private setups and seen this
I
model
totally
works.
agree with you. It can be
The
done.
only
We
thing
need-
is, what it requires is the mental mindset change on part of the provider. If private provider is a champion, is determined to do this, nothing can stop him. And once you realize the goodness of it, you will be bought and sold to this idea, 100%.
Totally agree
Thank
with you,
you.
Arti. Immediate breastfeed not only helps the baby, but also helps the mother for the uterus to involute.
Absolutely.
There's no
Involution of the
bleeding.
uterus. Yes.
So it, both sides,
And a
both are
lifelong
benefited.
bonding opportunity. Yes.
Yes. And there's one
Somebody
question
has,
to
yeah.
discuss about the experience after initiation of Lakshya program. Of course, that program really helps you to have a particular protocol, what you have to do in the labor room and what not to do. So
Yeah.
it will really help
And
you
it's, yes. And
in
it
your,
actually promotes the concept of respectful maternal care as well
yeah.
as respectful newborn care. So, and there is a, you know, what they called a family companion in the nursing, in the labor room. So, well, we don't have it yet in our labor room, the Lakshya program. We are not complied yet, but we are in the process. And I think it is very good, because ultimately mother and baby both have a right to respectful care.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's nice to have a partner with them, but sometimes it's very difficult to manage the partner also.
Logistically, feasibility, it's a difficult challenge. Definitely. I agree.
So it's on both sides. We have been doing it for the past 6 to 7 years, having a partner with a laboring mother.
Absolutely. Just like it sounds like a simple thing to do, but it is most difficult to implement.
Yes. Especially when we are doing an instrumental delivery and all, it's very difficult to explain and then to make them understand that it is not going to hurt the newborn.
Yeah.
So it has its own challenges to face.
Yeah. I see there are 157 participants, which is a heartening number. But when I can't interact with them, can't see them, you know, I feel at a loss. But I don't know how this webinar was perceived. I do not know.
No, there will be a
I hope we
feedback
can.
also after this, ma'am. And actually, it's 157 unique registrations. There are several hospitals that are connected. If you see Rajagiri there, Christian Medical College,
Oh,
all of those are connected from their boardrooms with about 25-30 people in each link.
okay.
Are actually
All
seeing
right.
about 1,000 plus people.
Okay, great. Wonderful. So I hope you would get back to me how I could improve, and Lulu, Lalu, how this feedback was.
Certainly. By this evening, you'll get the email, ma'am, from the feedback that we received.
Wonderful. All right.
Thank you so much, Arti. You put a lot of work and effort into what you have made, and congratulations on it. And I hope many people will take it up. Thank you, and
Thank
God
you
bless
so much,
you.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, all of you. Thank you, Lalu. Thank you, Dr. Gigi. And thank you all the participants for remaining joined in. And thank you very much. I'm actually humbled. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arti and Dr. Gigi, for the wonderful session. Truly amazing. And we talk a lot about quality without the patient in the center. So it's all about that patient engagement. It's the patient family engagement. So from CAHO, we've released an advisory to all our hospitals, a white paper on how to set up the patient advisory councils, whether it is the hospital-wide or the department-specific patient and family advisory councils. We've also embarked on several studies, context-specific, validated. 17 PREM tools have been released, one of which is on antenatal care. And now we are working on the PROMs, patient-reported outcome measures, where one is on the post-LSES care. So lots and lots of activities happening. And
wonderful.
Insights, we really look forward to partner. As a mark of our appreciation to the time that you spent with us and also the knowledge sharing, I would request Dr. Gigi to present our certificate of appreciation to Dr. Arti. Over to you, Dr. Gigi.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Arti Maria, for your
Thank you
contribution
so
as a
much.
speaker. We have given you a certificate of appreciation on behalf of
I
CAHO.
really value it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you, everybody.
for
Yeah,
joining.
lovely to be here. Yes.
So let me quickly take you through the upcoming program. Prakash, if you can put on the slides, please. The next 3 minutes for us. Yes. The
Yes.
next webinar is Communicating Effectively with Patients and Families. This is by Professor Eva, and she's the Director of Human Factors in Patient Safety. It's going to be a very important webinar. Our association 50 webinars with the International Society for Quality. Dear friends, if you wish to register for the ISQua Fellowship, the discount code for CAHO members is CAHO 2024. Registrations are open. Kindly register. If you require any assistance from CAHO, contact the Secretariat and our girls will be very happy to help you. Next one, please. Yeah, our CAHO monthly meeting. This is with the Centers for Quality Promotion. We have 39 Centers for Quality Promotion across the country. This webinar happens on the first Tuesday of every month. The CAHO Centers of Quality Promotion have been established to promote quality and patient safety in the region to small and medium hospitals. So thank you to all the Centers for Quality Promotion for joining us today. Ma'am, Dr. Arti and Dr. Gigi, you have been all over the country circulating in different flyers. I would show some snapshots of those. Vijaya Medical Center, Chennai, Mehta Hospitals, Chennai, Ganga Medical Center, Coimbatore, Medical Super Specialty, Calcutta, Fortis, Punjab, Fortis Hospital, Mohali, Rajagiri, Aluva, Baby Memorial, Kozhikode, Bethany Hospital, Shillong, Sri Ranga Hospital, Chengalpet, AJ Hospital and Research, Mangalore, Bombay Hospital, Mumbai, Nirmal Sai Hospital, Chennai, Jabalpur Hospital, MP, Christian Medical College, Vellore, Kaveri Hospital, Vadapalni, Institute of Neurosciences, Calcutta. Thank you all. Medical Super Specialty, Calcutta, Nazareth Hospital, Shillong, Anandalok Multi Specialty Hospital, Philippines, and Bombay Hospital, Indore, for your partnership and joining us today from your boardrooms and auditoriums. So these are some of the snapshots of the flyers that you circulated for the benefit of the small and medium hospitals in the region. Some of the upcoming activities and events. The risk management in laboratory is a virtual program on the 10th January. The NC closure program, again a virtual one on the 18th January. And nursing quality improvement on 25th January 2025. These are virtual programs this month. Kindly register and join. The quality implementation in hospitals, our 4 days residential program is happening on the 16th January, from 16th onwards. It's a residential program at Delhi. The registrations are closed. Pre-learning has already started. Healthcare risk management is on the 18th January at Indraprastha Apollo Hospital. Surface cleaning and disinfection at Royal Care Hospitals, Coimbatore on the 28th of January. Registrations are all open through CAHO website. Kindly register. Our continuing quality education series this month is on critical care quality first. Our intensivists are working hard to make this program a grand success. Would request all of you to register for this program. It's between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. on the 18th January. Next one, please. So this is for the National CAHO Olympiad. This is for clinicians, nurses, quality professionals, and administrators, the online proctored examination. This is going to be in the month of February. Registrations are open. We will be closing by 20th of January. Request all of you to register. We have separate prices for clinicians, nurses, and we are also going to be launching tomorrow the Olympiad for students, medical, nursing, allied health, and administration students. Now, our free webinar, the introduction to migration from the NAB's 5th edition to 6th edition, I think we are already with 1,400 registrations. This is by Air Marshal Dr. Pavan Kapoor, the moderators Dr. Giridhar Gyani, and Colonel Dr. Sunil Rao, who was the chair of the 6th edition of NABH standards. The masterclass series will be starting from end of this month. If I remember right, I think it's on the 24th that we are starting this. Migration from NABH 5th edition to 6th edition. So we have 10 sessions, and the fee for this for non-members is 4,000 rupees. For individual and institutional members is 3,000, and lifetime members is 3,000. Kindly register. Every week we have one session for about 1.5 hours on each chapter. We are also going to be having the Masterclass Series 12 that's on JCI standards, the Joint Commission International. This is going to be 14 sessions, 15 live sessions with international faculty and Indian faculty, all quality managers and senior clinicians who have implemented these standards in the country. So So this again for non-members is 5,000, for individual it's 4,500, and lifetime members is 4,500. We already have more than 200 plus registrations for each of these programs. Kindly register, make full use of this. And the awareness program along with the National Accreditation Board, these are the 3 centers that are hosting it this month. Bailal Amin General Hospital, Vadodara, Trichy SRM Medical College, Mother Care Hospital, Imphal, Manipur. And the ISO 15189-2022, this registration fee is about 1,000. Kindly register for this 2-day program. Next one, please. And there's one more, Dr. Rajendra Gode Medical College in Maharashtra. Next one, please. And this is pre-registration. The CAHO National Certifying Examination for Infection Control Professionals is open. 15th of February is the examination. So every batch, we have about 100 people registering, proctored examination. So kindly register, and the certificates for the excellence will be provided during CAHO-Con. Upcoming events, the Diagnostic Con is at Delhi, 8th and 9th of February 2025. If you're in the diagnostic field, kindly register for this program. Our own CAHO-Con 2025 is going to be at Delhi, 11th, 12th, and 13th of April. 11th, we have 17 pre-conference workshops across all hospitals in Delhi. Our theme this year is enhancing quality through collaboration. We have several partners, several excellent faculty traveling from different parts of the globe. So let's transform healthcare together, inviting all of you to join us at Delhi Hotel Pullman, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Thank you once again, dear participants, for joining us, and look forward to having all of you on for the 50th webinar of CAHO and the International Society for Quality together. Thank you once again, Dr. Arti and Dr. Gigi, for taking your time and for sharing your expertise and knowledge. Truly appreciate it. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.